Satnam, good evening, everybody. Uh, we are trying for the second time having a translation of Karta Time both in German and in French. So I welcome you all, and I wish you will understand and we can share now even further away uh, was limitation from this English speaking. So we improve. I guess my two translators, angels, are online. They're all set and they're ready, which is a little bit weird. Tell you the truth, I don't know. So let's tune in. Satnam, everyone. So we just take a few deep breaths to connect with our heart center and just get ready to receive. Welcome, inspiration and creativity. Ad Guru Name, Jugat Guru Name, Sad Guru Name, Sri Guru Dev Ad Guru Name, Jugat Guru Name, Sad Guru Name, Sri Guru Dev Ad Guru Name, Jugat Guru Name, Sad Guru Name, Sri Guru Dev. So much happened since the last Karta time, where we were in the midst of confinement, and now we have integrated that time, and we're already on the move. So, time for much more confusion and excitement and challenge and depression and not knowing and all that kind of a big bubble, wanting to go forward and backwards, so not finding any direction, kind of having lost our reference system. Hello. So, first I want to go back a little bit to this time of confinement where we were supposed to be like exactly like yogis. You know, when they say confinement and all, I just realized, but I'm living like this all my life, you know. We are not excluding ourselves as yogis in the world, but we're not participating in all this consuming society. We are pretty much contained with our life, and we are looking for contentment and not just enjoying stuff on the surface. So when you practice yoga for a long time, you find new sources of rejoicing and creativity that are not just based on outside projection or even not at all anymore. So for me, the experience of confinement was a really like vacation, because usually I travel and this time I couldn't travel, but it was the same space. But now just being the same environment in the Martinique was just fabulous. And day by day, actually, we had the blessing to be, as a whole team, we were like 9 people confined together on a land that was just waiting for the human presence to be there. So it was just an amazing meeting with the earth and with the environment and with ourselves, very deeply in ourselves. And I think for me, even though I dedicate 40 years of my life to serve the change and the transformation that would come, and that all of a sudden everything stops and we see we are at the day before the change and be so excited about it. Uh, I still, during these 40 years, have indulged in the life like everybody else. So we were on the run, we were not taking break, and we had to match the time, we had to run with the time. It was urgent to bring transmutation, transformation, access to people so they can open the scope, open their mind, open their possibility and potential for other conscious living ways. Uh, Nevertheless, when you sit for 40 days facing yourself, having a much more time to ponder, what happened for me was to realize this big sentence, what have we done? And when I'm saying we, is the whole planet. Because the beauty of this coronavirus was planetary impact. And this is the first deep realization, is like a horror movie, like, oh my God, where have we been, it's like when you stop this whole thing, the tornado, and you just watch and you realize all the abuse, all the extreme. We were just reaching an edge, the edge of exploitation of this planet, the edge of mess it up all our relationship, planetary speaking, the mismanagement of our production and economics. I mean, the extreme profit that is getting much more unbalanced than ever. I mean, it's just unbelievable, the level of pollution and I just. And when I sat down and start to say, yes, I see this, yes, I accept to stop and watch it, and not pretend that it's there and we'll see it later. We had the time to see that that's not gonna be later. We can't continue as it was. And when you see what it was, it's really not pleasant. It is not fun at all. So I think the first realization was, gosh, we went too far, Gosh, we were not aware collectively of how we mess it up. And it's still not finished, it is completely in the midst. Things that you thought were values and inspiring things and going for and trying to, excite yourself and your curiosity to develop. Now you realize I was not respecting any basic values of sanity, of nothing makes sense anymore, yeah? So, but we were trying to make sense to nonsense. This is, I think, honestly speaking, what I was trying to make in spite of living as consciously as possible. So today we fell off the stage. It's like, bam, we totally lost our ground, and we can see and face the reality we have created on this planet, and we can ponder and we can reflect, and we had all that blessing of so much time just to accept that this was and will not be anymore the same. I'm not going to continue to invest myself in so much trouble and movement, excessive movement, and expand to a place where there is no control anymore. So the beauty of this time was to come back to to live locally where you are, to appreciate simplicity of life, of the daily life, and having just a nice routine, very simple practice, and enjoying that time, we can flash back on memories of old time where people were living locally and had a relationship with their environment. And it was a time to discover, I think, the place where you are, uh, around the surrounding, the people, the, what the life looks like around you, because we were so far away from being local. So I think it's falling from the stage is one aspect of what we went through, and now second time is a deconfinement. So when we identify this really core essence of the karmic knot, individually and collectively, I think there's only one option: move. So I would call this Karta time the great removal. You know, remove, remove, remove. We have to change house. We have to change place. We have to change location. We have to change relationship. We have to change the way to earn money. We have to change how what we consume. We have to change so many things. Uh, and our relationship to the live stream. So this is so removal for some people will means change relationship. From other people will means sell your house, run out, leave your renting place, and go for a location that you choose to go back to a more local environment where you can have connection with people you can appreciate, uh, build new group consciousness, and start to see the human values. So there is a shift on values that you realize that just spending time with people you appreciate and you honor and sharing talent and qualities we have is giving to our daily life a total different dimension. And in the old time, I already say yes, it means 40 days earlier, we were just not noticing these people around us. We were just focusing on producing, developing, creating benefit. And now what we want is the benefit of life by sharing. So it's a total shift of values. The focus is not to make more and to build more benefit, but it's to get immediate benefit from sharing human values on the daily routine and not after 20 years of paying back a loan. So there's so many things that have totally shifted, and we are reaching the karmic knot of individuals, and many are reaching the edge of that. That means it's possible now to resolve the very deep core of your karma and all your fantasy. You know, how you can be aware of that karma was about the dream that were just fantasy dream that maybe your family or your tradition or people, your environment, your cultural environment were telling you you should become that type of people. You have to become rich and prosperous, and you have to grow in that way to fit in a society that make you, you know, it's the dream of the star, it's the dream of being the one president or whatever. In every scale we can speak about that. There was a dream of being successful in a way of personal projection. And we couldn't see that we can be successful by being the success in honoring who we are as we are and not trying to be another person. So I think today we have settled down, we have stopped this old train, and we can start perceiving that a new train is right there. A new trend is coming, and new horizons are possible, and a move is calling us. We've got to go into a new flow. We need to embrace the change and the moving. So removal for some people will means I moved 300 kilometers away from where I was, being in the middle of a city. I want to go back in the nature, to go back in different places. I may have to change my also human environment and get closer to people I really appreciate. I share values and all that stuff. So a lot of things are pointing out as new possibilities and new ways. We start feeling the excitement to really go, and we don't know where. We just don't know where. But what we understand is we need to move. Yeah? So definitely abandoning this dream that we're false dream. We make us believe we have to be like this. But actually, when you stop and be confined and meditate, you realize that the bottom line is you're just happy with yourself. You don't need to be somebody else. You don't need to go somewhere to be in a position, social position, or express superpower. All you need is to be content. And you can be content with very small things, with a simple life, but with high quality. So, what is the quality of life? Is when you start living from your higher self. Do you understand that? Any quality you can add, the added value of personality, it's very, very limited in time. Yeah, every 10 years you lose the faith in what you had before, and you start to rethink your life, and you see that what was so important when you were 40 become useless when you are 50, and forget when you are 60. Do you understand? Personality projection about life is changing in a way through the time, and will never satisfy you. You will never go anywhere. But through all this time, you were yourself with yourself, and you forgot this one. And this was your higher self, the one who can connect with a sort of a inspiration, but be inspired by value and qualities that are not limited by time. Values that are not limited in time. If you want to honor love, friendship, peace, harmony, you have hundreds of these angels all around us. They need to be manifested through us, through our higher self. And we need to decide that this is what we want to serve. Not only profit, not only material expansion, not only financial success. This is not going to make it at the end. When you will end up in a box of a wooden box like anyone else, you're not going to bring your dollars. You're not going to bring all that stuff with you. What you're going to bring is human realization. What are the human realization that you did through this life, crystallized through the time? And then result will be very shallow, very limited if you dedicate your life only to material projection. And this, I think, many people realize during this time of confinement. What is the value of life? What are we doing on this planet nowadays? We totally lost ourselves in running forward, in expanding and expanding and expanding and exploiting all resources, and becoming the slave of time all together, collectively. And time has been given to us to enjoy and play like children. You're born, and in school you play, and when you're grown up, you become so serious and boring serious. Yes? So I think what we rediscover through this confinement is we can be like children, enjoy life with simplicity and in a very local scale, and have a total different quality to life. And then the relationship with the earth is changing totally. Then we see now uh, what causes the pollution, you know, all this expansion and development of technology on the petrol component, yeah, and all the plastic industry and all that stuff. Uh, did we really needed all that, this plastic bottle and all that, and fill up all the ocean with it? We couldn't see it. We couldn't anticipate. But today we see the consequence. So I think this is a great, great time because we can see, we can ponder, and we can use our logic, our intellect, our cleverness to really now reset our intention on this planet that let's cooperate with the planet Earth. You know, this is a big call for us to reset ourselves and stop exploiting and to discover that a much more simple life in collaboration and co-creation with the planet Earth could bring us a quality of a daily life much, much better. So I think this is my realization. I don't know for you if you saw that, but I think it's a very general theme that what was our false god before, what we wanted, even the spiritual goals. You know, we had this uh, incredible high spiritual expectation, even in the Kundalini family. You know, you dream about masters and about whole kind of confusing image and semi-gods image and the elitist projection. And at the end of the game today, you see this is all crumbling down, falling apart. There is not what one image that makes sense anymore. So spirituality is really linked to simplicity and acceptance of our deep human nature, which is very, very simple. So, and I think deconfinement is like opening a field of possibility and a very big empty space. And I think many people are sharing that, oh my God, if I look at that space and I really drop the attachment and totally the past behind, there is so much we could do. There is so much we can reset and transform that I think it will take another, you know, few hundred years before we get there. And to bring this planet into such harmonious space where we are in co-creation with all the production and all the means, everything. So, but what stops us is we don't know. You know, there is no certitude, there is no perspective, there is no, we don't know how anymore. Uh, by example, for us, the first step was look at our garbage, you know, and how can we recycle all that? And how to make a proper manure, you know, how to start composting things. And then all the things you cannot transform, do we really need them? How can we change that? And how are we gonna, we had accumulate so many things in the house that we were not using anymore. We didn't have the time even to treat this properly and put them in order and give them a place or a role or a utility. No, we have that in all corners. So we spend a lot of time just looking on the resources we had abandoned and how we could use them for creating the new. And it was one example. We actually starting a micro farm project here in Le Martinet, and we have to reset the irrigation. And of course, we could have buy new things, but what first thing we did is say, no, we're not going to go out. So we're going to look at what we have already, and we find treasure that was storage in our workshop places and left and right, and we could fix almost the whole line with old stuff that we could recompose and create our new irrigation system. This is just one tiny example that is a symbol of where we go, you know. We have lost this habit to recycle old stuff and use them and reuse them in new context. And this is possible. So we saw that the economics can completely change because we don't need to run to consume new things all the time. And it's not going to please the big economic structure that we have today, but people going to live a much better quality life. So this is where we go. I think the relationship to the earth as well is so important, and we have been disconnected from that. So I think this removal is moving back to nature, but not as a revolutionary, but as a conscious decision that today, with the incredible means of communication, we can meet again with nature and we can still stay connected with one another. So this is a amazing thing. So transmute the old stuff we had, the garbage, to make gold with it. This is really very essential to reconsider when we start to take the new train that already started. And I really call all of you, take the train. This is time, yes? So if you connect to your higher self, and I think only if you connect to your higher self, then you will know how to trust yourself, because there will be no certitude about where you are going. Nobody knows where we are going, and we don't need to know that. Because if you're today, you invest yourself in full awareness of your action, decision making, based on values, you cannot be wrong. And this has to change. You understand? You cannot continue living in insecurity and waiting that other people will define life for you. There is no design for life anymore. The design is now, and now you know how to decide by trusting and empowering the trust you have in your decision. You need to decide, and nobody will do it for you. In your life, this is your birthright. You are a human being. You don't have to follow. You don't have to follow what other people think that it is a value for you. You can choose the value you want to honor, and you can apply your life to manifest these values. And then you become a sovereign being. Do you understand? You can trust yourself and empower yourself in trusting your decision today, even if you don't know where you go. And this is the paradox. Today we cannot say, okay, I'm going to take the train, go there, and things will go like this, and in 5 years I will be there. Nobody knows in 6 months where we're going to be. In 3 months, we don't know where we're going to be. Do you understand? So, but move. This is the time to move. Be on the move. So, what you do when you change house? It's an amazing time of cleaning, yes? You do the boxes, you go in the house and you pick up the stuff, you put it in boxes, but before you put it in boxes, you have to decide, should I take it? Should I leave it? Yeah? And this is exactly what we are doing in this next month, is clean the house, remove all the things you don't need. You will not even need to storage. You put them in recycling. They might not be recyclable, but leave the old stuff you don't need. And when you're going to move forward and mute yourself, you're going to take what you just need. Not based on, I may need that. No, no. What you need today. And what you don't need today, leave it. Yeah? So this is a cleaning process of what you have stored for years. Just get rid of all that, and it's going to, again, create a space of possibility for you. Wherever you're going to move, you're going to be able to let this be empty. You know, the Zen structure of a house is this minimum fill up the space so the energy can move. And you are the main person in the space and not so many things that you don't need. So cleaning the house, which means cleaning your mind. This is just the same. This core essence, the knot of your karma, is about to be resolved. It is possible to end that stuff. And for many, many millions of people, it's a time where you can say, never again, bye-bye, I'm not coming back. You understand? I am not coming back. This, you must decide that. And it is scary. It is really scary. But you will make it if you trust your own trust. You understand? If you trust that values what makes a human being, not what you have, is you have to switch this. Being first, having, doing secondary. Being first. We already say that in the previous Karta Time. Now is the time to apply that concretely. Drop the old, move. Physically move. It's the time. Many, many people are going to move. So it's a amazing time for removal and all the bonds we had, and especially emotional bonds. We have many, many emotional bonds. We were living around families. We were living around things that are so familiar, and now maybe it's the time to abandon all that. It's possible, because if it is not your priority, it is not your priority, and you've got to go. So this is a radical cut within your mind with the attachment of old belief system. You know, we thought Kundalini yoga must be blah blah blah, black and white, like this, like that. A first, B second, C. Not at all. Nobody understood a clue of what Kundalini means. Yeah. And they came with big definition. They put it in a box. They painted. They put level and layers and brand and all that stuff. Kundalini is here on this planet since eons. Yeah, it belongs to nobody. This is nonsense to label it and to lock it in a box. You know, it's free. You just need to practice it, and you will discover through the practice the essence of what it is. And nobody can tell you what the essence is about. So it's really today you facing yourself by yourself and totally honoring who you are as a higher self. So this is fundamental, and then you will celebrate the soul victory. Soul victory is the outcome of that. Yeah. When you connect to your heart, I'm sure you all had that experience when the confinement came, that space in front of us opening, and your heart, you know, be exalted by the possibility to live in harmony as human being on this planet was just right there in the space. And I'm sure you pick up that message. It is possible to go back into an amazing harmony between the five realms, the vegetal, the animals, the mineral, and we are ready as humanity. Now we have enough understanding of our limits, you know, where we have been, and this is a great asset. It's like Einstein said it, yeah? When you know these limits collectively, then we can go beyond. And when we see beyond, it's not just trance and ecstatic and all that. It's just beyond beauty. You know, beauty is the beyond. Harmony is beyond. It's just, it is always there. But if we start looking at that and focusing at that collectively, then our life will become a mirror of the harmony of the nature. And not, we cannot transform the nature. We cannot make the nature harmonic, because it is the harmony. And the beauty is already there. But can we use this mirror to reflect, adjust, and co-create in full humility and in full awareness? And that is happening when your values are not anymore to be conquistador, to be exploiter, but just to say, hey, this is all given to us. We can share that and we can contribute. So if the attitude of human being is switching, then you enter the new train. The train is gone already and you're all invited to join. So this is an amazing call. I think when you exalt your soul and you connect to your higher self, the only thing that comes is singing. You know, the song is a song of your soul, and singing is uh, coming, return again. You know all this song, return again to the land of your soul. This is our land, the land of our soul. And if we go back to the land of our soul, we all be meeting again as human in a very, very different way. So I think um, when we stabilize the trust in our heart and the trust on our decision to follow our higher self awareness, and we consciously decide to go there, day by day, it will bring us to the right place. So the other thing is, like I say, you know, there is no strategic plan. We cannot anticipate where all this is going to go, and we know it will go for a long time now. Now we are entering a very long cycle, and what we are just going through today is initiate the first step. And this is so important because now is the time, especially this month of June, where you're going to make the first step with yourself, with your life, with your close people, and with how you're going to go on the removal yourself, yeah? Transport yourself in the new space, in the new paradigm. But this today is facing a concrete decision with practical move, not just move in the spirit, move in our faith, move in our intellect, in our conception, but it is to shift the center of your being and center yourself on your higher self. So this is a time for new beginning is arrived, and this new beginning is in all direction. All direction is possible to initiate new. As soon as you start with consciousness. And you will see it's not big plan, it's not just having big thing. It's a start to see your day. How you start your day, you can change. You can start your day consciously. With the level 1, we're doing this 40-day sadhana in the morning, and it's just so inspiring to see all these hundreds of people practicing this Navikriya every morning, recentering themselves and empowering themselves and defeating the time and get out of the slavery to time. Yeah, this is so exciting. And every step we do is we need to conquer. You see, we're not conquering land. We're not conquering to the core essence of who we are. And we're dissolving the knot of what wanting to sabotage us, this shadow self. And so this month is this polarity on our shadow self. We will need to go deep in the bottom of this anxiety, fear, limitation, mistrust, and dissolve that and dissolve that and dissolve that. And the same time is connect to your higher self, to your value, and decide for removal. How are you going to transport yourself from the place you were before into a totally new paradigm? So this is so do not, when you take the decision based on your value, do not then go for a second thought when you consider, gosh, I'm going to put myself in very hard condition. I may not have the same income. Something will be missing, and then you reset your mind. Immediately goes, what would be the ideal scenario? How could I secure myself again? How could I be comfortable again? Forget it. The comfort you get is to be comfortable for yourself. And then the security is trusting and empower yourself. So it cannot be projective. It cannot be from the outside. You have to drop completely that the outside circumstance will not bring you comfort and security. It's only by reflecting and connecting to your higher self every day that you're going to enter that stage where you are totally, totally sure that you are a human being with the full right of being and existing, and you honor yourself as a human being. This is the qualification of your day, qualification of yourself. This is not an option today. This is how you're going to do if you want to take the train, this new train that is already going. So I think you all feel that there is an urge to move. And of course, we immediately, all the pattern, the ancient way of thinking are there, and just need to cut that and say, no, no, no. I'm not going with strategy. I'm not going to try to be clever. I'm not going to try to make it. It will come to you. This is the amazing thing. Remember, the axis of this planet have changed. The whole planet is ready. If you make the move physically and from your consciousness, you create a magnetic field that's going to attract to you the right connection, the right people, at the right time, in the right place. This is the law of the Aquarian space, you know. We will meet the right circumstances because we attract them from our purity of intention. If your purity of intention is your first step, motivation, you will not miss it. It's impossible to miss it. And things will come to you. So remember, security is you know that you deserve the best environment-based circumstances for you to be honored as much as you honor life. And it will happen like this. This is the dharmic law. This is universal law. We need to do that step. As an ascension of humanity, we are moving into a new paradigm together, and the first pioneers are starting now. If you feel you're not totally ready, if you feel this is totally crazy, take a deep breath, practice pranayama, and practice some good kriya in the morning. And very, very soon, in the next 3 weeks, things clarified. It will clarify when you reorient yourself, when you reorient your intention, you reorient your axis, definitely universe will answer your needs. So this is security, you understand? Security is not coming from any money you have on the side, because who knows, that money in few months maybe have no value. So where are you gonna go? You understand? So things is, don't trust whatever were the value of the past world, and start to invest yourself in human values, because this is your only strategy, is innocence. Go back to innocence and trust these values. So for me, it's just, I can't, I have no word to share the excitement, exaltation that I have been touched since the deconfinement, where all the field is opening with so many discovery of how can I live daily a much conscious life, a much more aware of all relationship with any step I do, any action I do. I can observe, say, am I aligned with sanity? I am aligned with this basic sense, you know, that life by itself is teaching you. So when you know to listen to that, and you know to say, okay, no, I don't do it like this I used to do, I will do it differently. Whatever I eat, how I eat, where I buy, what I buy, all that stuff, I start to think, gosh, do I really need to buy that? And shall I go again in that shop or not? Shall I buy that stuff that come from all the other side of the planet, or should I buy local? Yeah. And then when you do action based on that sanity decision, conscious decision, the whole planet will change. And of course, we're going to go through a sort of a crisis together, because transition is always, transmutation is pressure, and pressure will come. But we are ready to embrace any sort of pressure the minute you anticipate you're already on the move. And that's why Join the flow of life is being in tune, in harmony and synchronicity with all events that will come further away from us. And you will not be surprised, or you will be able to adapt in a snap when other people who are saying, okay, maybe later, maybe not now, and so on, when they will have no choice, they will not be prepared. So it's not a threat. I'm not just pushing any crazy negative idea on anybody here. What I'm saying is, now the flow is calling us. Flow of life is renewing, and there is a call for all of us to join. And if you open you can only go from your heart. You're not going to go from your mind, because it's impossible to do a strategy. Again, shoot first, sit on the bullet, and go on the move, and you will find your way. Because this is the Aquarian age is the age of the space, and we're gonna all go on spaceship. We all gonna move in different constellation. We're gonna meet again new people in new group consciousness in new places, and we're gonna inspire each other and co-create this new world. So this is just a very amazing time for such a radical change on very fundamental way of living, that we have no idea where this is going to take us. But I wish all of you resonate with what I feel today, and you can listen to that and answer a big yes to yourself, because I deserve to be part of that train. I deserve to be in this flow, and I want to contribute. I want to be part of it, even if I don't understand a clue of where this is all going. And that's the best way. You cannot imagine. Remember, your imagination drives you nuts. You imagine you should be this Mrs. and Mr. La La La. And today, what does it bring you? Yeah? Now just be yourself, totally yourself, fully yourself. Connect to your higher self. Stay in that innocence and move yourself. So, this is the essence of the message I wanted to share with you for this Karta time. Is we into a movement, but with wages, our suitcases, our families, or our people, and go left and right and reconnect to totally different context. And this is going to start now, and through these months of June is a moment of reconsider, make the decision, make the choice, prepare yourself, and start to be on the move already. Put yourself in the motion and make the first step to decide. This is the time to decide. Okay, thank you so much. It's a little bit extreme. It's a little bit, last time I was talking about psychic surgery. Now we are doing a physical surgery. We are moving into the 3D, and we're gonna really make a step to make this material change, which is now sort of the next step. So I wish you find that resource in you to resolve this karmic knot in your heart, in the solar plexus. All this, what other people think, what my ego will think when I am totally insecure in the middle of nowhere with no resources and not knowing how, and new people, new places. It's all gonna work fine. It's all gonna work fine. Remember that. Synchronicity in this new paradigm is always there. When you are creating this magnetic field, you attract the right people, the right circumstances. So this is your trust, this is your security, and this is your best insurance company, is your own company. Okay, so to enter that, I suggest working with Prana, like I do the last Karta times and this time again. So I will share with you now this practice of it's a victory of the self, of the higher self, and by joining the flow of life. So the first pranayama will work on the lungs capacity and that connection to relieve sorrow, relieve this constriction, this confinement for some people, like the virus did. You know, it stopped you to breathe. It put you in a very small volume. So what we want is to expand the lungs capacity. We want to expand and dissolve any sense of sorrow and smallness and just give the space within as big as it is outside for us now. So renew the flow of prana. This is first part. How we do that? We're gonna bring our hands like this. So the forearm are in the front, and we break the wrist so there is no tension in the hands and the wrist. And it's, you open the chest, and we're gonna first start moving the shoulder up and down, powerfully, with a sneeze in and out, powerfully. You notice that my hands are not moving, only the shoulder. So you have to find the tricks. So your elbows are following and the forearms are following, so they hardly move, but everything, the focus is on the shoulder. This is a connection, you know, with the dorsal, the middle of your back, and the shoulder blade movement. This is, you know, at the moment of death, like we are now, we are dying to the old man. When you are about to die, what happens is the muscles in your shoulder blade are getting crampy, tense, tight, very hard. And so every time we are afraid to die and the death reaction come, then we squeeze it, we squeeze it. So what we do by this one is we relax everything that is tension coming from the death process we're all going through. We are dying to the old. We're dying to all things that were our joy, our simplicity before, and now it becomes totally out of order. But it gives the tension. Gosh, how can I go? How can I move? How am I going to get out of this? It's too constricting. And then the sorrow, oh God, I'm going to be separate from that. I'm never going to get that again. Or what about this old way of living, our vacation, and blah, blah, blah. So who knows what's going to happen. So you're going to, and it's also like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Unload your back, unload what you carry on your shoulder. You don't need to carry anything. This is not your job. Let the divine plan unfold, and you drop your apprehension, your sorrow, your fears. So that's the first part, 7 minutes, and it's not the end of it. So in this first part, you 7 minutes do this powerfully, just up and down your shoulder. And when you have done that, you keep the posture of your arms the same. Now what we're gonna do is 5 long and deep inhale, exhale through the mouth. So we go like, like if you're drowning and you want to take more air. 5 times. And the last one, you inhale, and you inhale more all the way up. You lock it, and you start moving the right shoulder back 5 times, then the left 5 times, and then you move in a circular motion like this 5 times, holding the breath in. And then exhale through the nose. Again. this is one special breath. You understand? We do this 3 times. So inhale, exhale 5 times through the mouth. The last time you inhale maximum, hold the breath, roll the shoulder 5 times, backwards, first the right, then the left, and then you go in twisting the shoulder forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward. 5 times the same from the right shoulder. You count on one shoulder, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's it. And then sneeze out. All this is happening holding the breath. And then again. And we do this sequence 3 times. And when this is done, you have done the first part, which is going to be about 11 minutes. Then the second part is this 2 point here on the forehead. There are soft point, acupuncture point that, you know, when nothing works, you're all as this, every human being going into a catastrophe says, oh God, what's going to happen? Do you know why we do that? To balance the left and right energy, left and right brain, but not only the whole field of masculine and feminine energy in the mind space. You bring them together. So whenever you have big question, difficulty to choose, you don't know what the outcome is, what the solution is, you're totally confused, you do that. Yes? So we're going to practice this with an amazing breath, which is breath of fire. So as we want to stimulate this navel point, that was your point of umbilic, connected when you were receiving life in the womb. When we do breath of fire, we activate this life flow very, very much. And this will purify. So the first one was renew the flow. Now we purify and we clean this flow with the breath of fire. It will purify the blood. It will accelerate the circulation, make it easier, and give a better quality of your blood. So, and then the mind together, when you split it, when you don't know what to decide, when you don't know where to go, and you just do it like this. So we want to have the upper chest open. You don't want to be like this, you know, no. You want to be open and bring the palm, both palm on this forehead like this, yeah? You keep your chin in, the diaphragm is up, the upper chest is up, and we go breath of fire, pulsing the navel. With your inner eyes, you focus on this point, and the palm, you feel these 2 points. So it makes a triangle like this, yeah? And you feel it, yeah? And you pulse the navel, that's the other triangle. The 2 point with the navel. And you stimulate the navel. Breath of fire is shallow, you remember? Very shallow, but quick. And you must do this 11 minutes. When you do breath of fire this way, 11 minutes, if you do this every day, it's gonna just make yourself much easy, much lighter, blood circulation much better, and it can cure many, many diseases. So it will definitely help your glands and your immune system. It will help everything. So remember that. Put your hands like this. Keep your upper chest up and open, chin in, close your eyes, focus on the third eye, and breath of fire. Try to do this breath of fire, shallow, powerful, and 11 minutes. This is our second part. And the third part, it is meditation and pranayama, that we call it meditation for the flow of life, which is exactly where we are. I have prescribed that techniques at the end of the Nabi Kriya, so many people in the level 1 are doing this right now, but I want to share this with everybody because this is really the time to join the flow of life. So I will explain it right here so everyone can have it properly. This comes from a very old tantric practice where you do it with yourself. So it is sun and moon energy that are balancing through this exercise. And of course, we're going to activate this energy through the central channel. So what we do is we bring the left arm on the side, and we're going to have the palm facing down, the left palm facing down, and we keep it horizontal, tiny bit above the shoulder, tiny bit, mostly horizontal. But you don't want to start like this because it will flex down, definitely. So just let's keep it like this, stretch on this side. Now from the right palm, this is a very sensitive movement, a very precise and subtle. So what you want is, with the palm, you're going to go down on the side, making circle, and you grasp the energy from the earth in the root chakra, and you bring it up, and then you make a big circle on the side with your right palm, yeah? So it turns like this. So I don't know if I can show you better with the whole body, but you are like this, and the palm goes like this. It's very, and this is not really moving your hands. You are entering the flow of life. When you move intentionally, you're going to start creating a vortex. But when the energy starts moving, the energy will move your arms. So it is really the movement of the universe, the flow of life. This is what we call the flow of life meditation. And you're going to inhale when the hands goes up all the way to above the head, and turn on the side. So when you inhale, it is through the puckle mouth. You go like, and when you exhale through the nose, it goes down. It's a long, deep breath, and very slow. It goes with, it's a full breath. So you go. There is an option where you can eventually go to the left with your head when you inhale through the mouth, and then turn your head to the right when you exhale through the right. This is optional. If you feel disturbed, you need to keep your eyes closed and focus on the third eye. This is your focus is on the third eye, and then the breath goes with the palm. You feel the energy in your palm, the one looking down, bringing all the flow that you move. And so the left arm is actually dynamic, very tense, very solid, very solar. So the moon side, usually we make it solar. We balance it with the polarity. And the right one that usually is very outgoing, we make it very soft and very feminine, like a moon movement, like a moon energy. That means the arms that is moving, first, of course, you need to initiate the movement, but after that, you're going to feel the energy you have moved is moving your arms, and the arms goes like very gracefully, very softly, very nicely with the breath, very slow. So it goes like. Through this meditation, you're going to see yourself suck in the new vortex, in the new life flow of the Aquarian age, and you are letting yourself go inside, you're moving, and you are balancing the masculine and feminine energy so you can be as passive you can to receive guidance, trust, support, attraction of all communication you need. You can also be very proactive and spontaneous and solid. So the left arm will be your steadiness. You don't want to compensate. You don't want to keep the spine, flex in the side. You want to, the spine will balance the disbalance, the dissymmetry between the soft side of the right arm and the tense side of the left. You've got to stay in your axis. So this is an amazing practice to give yourself 11 minutes. And now we have our 3 different steps of breath we do. This combination is just great for what you have to go through this month. If you so people were asking me, should I do it before sadhana, la la la. I think that was the idea. If when you do a kriya in the morning, you can do that practice just before. You can do it separately if you don't do your practice, but if you do sadhana practice, this is supposed to be done just to start your practice. Before going into the kriya, you do this activation of prana and apana and sushumna. Because this time we're going to work on the 3 channel, prana, apana, sushumna, and the activation of that energy will be with you. So I guess you are set. We're going to write it down in the newsletter so you have it as a memory. I would like now to move into the last section, which is more about the question you have given us. So, of course, as information, you know that since this confinement, deconfinement, as I've spent all this time in Le Martinet, that we have now a new step of development in our place, in our land here, and we have started this 2 projects. One is a micro farm project where we start the garden that were existing in permaculture, and we start to organize the whole land in a new way, where we can have a step-by-step project with also orchard, and later on animals will come, and we're going to integrate the whole life cycle on the land. And it is really working with the light, the land, and it's like a yoga actually. Our ancestor and our ancient human being who have been on this planet practicing this conscious relationship with the earth, they already discovered many of these principles, but not as refined as we can do today. And I think with all the progress we've made since so many years, we can apply now this technical progress, so we don't need so much machine, but we're going to use our intelligence to collaborate with the earth. And this is a beautiful project, so people can come and support and share and work with us as a seva program, like woofer people are coming as well. And other program is the Yogic Lifestyle. So this is really people who wants to do a retreat or a practice, special practice for a time for themselves, or some people can come with their group as a teacher. And we have you have student and you have a project to come here to create a special course for yourself with your student. We can host all these possibilities. So soon we'll put it on our website, but you already know this is we're opening this land to much more permanent life and rooted life here, where we live this yogic life together, and it's really enjoyable. So I wish you, when you have time and you want to give yourself time for growing, Yogic Lifestyle is an amazing frame to come and be with yourself, meditate, ponder, get a hokum. You can get an oracle. You can do this 7 rays meditation around the land. You have so many possibilities. We can build a personalized program for you to see where you are at and how you can start working with yourself and go into self-discovery. So many possibilities. So here we go in the questions. So there are a few questions. 2 questions. It's more about how to do healing work with. There are 2 people, Marianne, that say hello if you're watching us today. And it's, of course, definitely okay. We meet again, we connect again. I will take care of that. And Bhagat Param Singh also needs maybe a personal contact for answering your question. So we're going to see this offline different time. Thank you. I say thank you for the people who just say also thank you to us. So it's definitely very pleasant to receive. And so this is Anna, who just, Anna Kreutz. So thank you so much. So I think I answered the question about the follow-up of the Karta Time practice. And she's asking for videos to know how to practice. So we're going to do that until September. We're preparing courses like this that you will be able to follow. At the moment, if you don't know how to practice properly, and my indication are to succinct for you, relate to a teacher. There are teachers of INS who knows exactly how to practice this pranayama when they get it from the video, and they can teach you how to do it properly if you don't feel secure to do it alone. So other question was how to focus on spiritual development, service to others, but also to have a partner. So this is kind of a recurrent question. People are split between personal life, personal relationship, and spiritual life priority, who takes a lot of time. Like if you get up for sadhana at 5 o'clock, it's not the same coziness that to stay in bed. Yeah? So of course it changes, and if your partner is not in tune, you start having problem. So I think definitely when you choose to have a recurrent spiritual practice and you are very focused and this is your values, again, you will attract people that are also looking for this type of quality life with a daily practice, with a sort of a discipline also about the food and everything. So a partnership is, there are so many new possibility of relationship. I cannot expand on that here, but we have a level 2 course that we go through this, all these questions, and how we can abandon our old attachment to the projection of what was a relationship in the past paradigm, and where we are going, and all the new possibility there are, and this is so different from before, yeah, where you're not going to go for dependency or things like that. So I think you have to dig in deep about that, but all I can tell you is it's not incompatible, it's very compatible to have a partnership and be in a spiritual life. This is exactly what we're teaching through this practice of this path of based on Kundalini and the way of Amritnam Sarovar is developing, researching about the new paradigm, a new type of relationship we may have, much more fulfilling than in the past. So more possibilities are opening, and definitely spiritual, because it's not a point to be too personal and at the cost of your spiritual development. This is not happening now. So it is compatible, but you need to find a way. Otherwise, you need to come and visit us and practice, and we share this teaching because it takes time. It's a deeper process than just a communication online. So so question is it Kundalini can heal the sadness, the melancholy, the longing, sadness and depression? Of course, it is a yes, definitely, definitely. But again, it is a process. If you're asking this question, you could come to the what we do, the Éveil de Soi, Awakening of Self in the summer. Is a 1 week module where you can really, really, really find the root cause of what stopped you at the moment, and if this is the what you're looking for, get out of depression and things like that, you will definitely find the way. So we are here for guiding you in the process of self-discovery, where you can find your own resources to not fall in that hole again. Yeah. Somebody is asking me, even from Morocco, why Guru, Lina, what is my relationship to death? It's simply my best friend. You know, death is so soft, so kind, and so beautiful, because that's the door that free ourselves from definitely old karma. So we learn to accustom it to be with that death every day. And this is what gives the access to immediate beauty, immediate innocence. So again, we have a whole week on that topic, and we share that, and it's an amazing approach and an amazing experience. So death is our friend. So hope you will approach that, or please do the work and join us in some ways of training so we can share that, because this is not, again, in 2 minutes we can go there. Alors, many people were asking, can we have French translation of Karta Time? I guess today it must have been answered. We also have it in German, which is new, and I will get a feedback probably at the end of this Karta Time. So, but it is working, and we are on work in progress, trying to make it better. So also light quality and sound quality, of course, we need to develop the technical side of it. Now it's still with my iPhone, as you can imagine, and it is very precarious. But I think in the next few weeks, we're going to be equipped with proper equipment and have a good quality sound and a better quality image as well. So, and in French, and in English, and in England, in German. So this is amazing. And of course, we have it in Russian since the beginning. I think the Russians have done such a beautiful work since the beginning. They are translating in, they are transcribing in, so they get the newsletter as well in Russian. So we're going to have it in French soon. It will come. Yeah, Elodie, that is enrolling in the level 1. I think this is my message for this Karta Time. Probably answer all your doubts and questions, because you have the capacity to overcome your own doubts, and nobody else will do it for you. So decide. It's just a matter of deciding from your innocence, from your heart. And when you have that connection, the doubts are dispelled. So connect to your heart, decide, and everything will follow. Everything will come to you. And if you doubt that you can go through it, this is the best guarantee that you will really make it through it. Because, you know, anticipating a challenge make you ready for it. So when people are so dispersed that they don't realize the quality of what they're going to face and the intensity of the moment, they will miss it. But if you value it, definitely this is coming from your source, so it will come back to you as your own value. So I think your attitude is okay. To be scared is okay. We all go through that, and you will succeed. There's no question. Okay. Uh, I think this is all about it. We're getting close to the end of our Karta time for this time. So I thank you very much for your support, your interest, and this uh, amazing development we see in the school that so many people are joining right now, where we are answering the call of the time and we are ready. We have all the tools to face this time, and we can go through it with so much joy, excitement, and love. So I wish you all to find that joy within your heart. Do a great practice of pranayama, and see you next month with a better smile. Okay, let's close our space now with Satnam together. So close your eyes and just go back into your heart and observe the resonance, the frequency, the quality you have right there in the heart temple. Appreciate and be ready to elevate yourself now, that you have the confidence, you have the trust that you are on the move, and you are moving from real place, from where you were before confinement, to a place you don't even know where this is going to bring you. You start the journey moving yourself in the 3D to join this flow of life, the flow of the universe, the flow of life on this planet Earth that is asking us for change. I honor each one of you and thank you deeply and send you all my love and delight from my heart. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Bye bye. Satnam. See you next time.